everyone, and welcome to It's a Legit Metaphysical World. And this is tonight's live card reading. I don't know about the rest of you, but this week the energy has been very strange for probably the last week or so. So I'm not sure what's going on. We'll see if it influences our card readings at all tonight. But we have two wonderful volunteers again tonight. And our card reader tonight is Lauren Ricard, a personal friend of me, Dale Belluscio, your host. So let's bring Lauren right on. Good evening.
I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry.
That's okay. No problem. Can you hear me now? Lauren?
I still can't hear you.
You still can hear me. Uh-oh. Are you muted at all? Buddy, can you tell if she is muted? Buddy's our producer. This is not going to work if we can't hear her. Let me try sending her a text to see if... Okay, you're not unmuted, so you should be able to hear me, my friend. Oh. Can you hear me now? No?
No.
Oh, dear. Let's see. Can you use your cell phone? Call me. This is the high-tech world we live in tonight, folks. I was just saying the energy is very off, and now something like this happens, so that's kind of weird. We're trying to text, and I'm trying to tell her to call me because I said call me, and she can't hear me, so what was I thinking? I don't know what number she's using. I'm going to call her. Let's see if we can figure this out. Hello? Nope, this is not working. Both unplug your mics and plug in. I did unplug my mic. Something is going on, and we can't even contact via cell phone. So this is kind of odd. Let me see. I don't know. Hold on. I'm going to try calling her myself and see if this will work. This is the oddest thing that's ever happened. Let's see. Now I can hear you. No, it's okay. I don't know why either. Yeah, I know. You have tried to come back in. I know. Buddy, can you pull her back up? Because I can hear her on here, but I don't know how this is going to work because no one's going to be able to hear her. Otherwise, let me try. Hold on. Let me try to back out and come back in and see if that works. Okay? Hold on. All right, guys. I'm going to try to back out and come back in again. So we'll see if this works. I'll be right back. Beth, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
You can hear me. Okay.
Yes.
Well, this is interesting. Buddy, can we try to bring Lauren back in? And it's Missy. Okay. Well, we got all the people here that want to be read, and we have no card reader. Where did Missy? Let's see. Buddy, can you? Yep. Nope. But I had to bring Lauren back in. Well, hopefully Buddy's going to try to figure it out because I can hear Beth and I can hear Melissa. I have two people wanting to be read, but I'm not sure where Lauren went now, if she is still attached. Hold on. This is really crazy. I'm going to just ask her if she is still backstage. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Hey, we figured it out. Goodness. Okay. Whew, that took a while.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because I was just saying the energy has really been strange and really off recently. And I don't know if you're feeling it as an intuitive, but I definitely been feeling it. I don't know what it is, but have you felt the same way?
Yeah. I've definitely just felt a lot more on edge lately. I feel like I'm waiting for something to happen. I just don't know what exactly.
Well, that's true.
But that's how I feel.
Okay, so we're all set. We can hear each other now. So, Buddy, when you're ready, if you want to bring in the first person to be read, either or, it doesn't matter which one. And it is Missy. Good evening, Missy. How are you? Oh, no. And now Missy
No.
can hear us. Oh my God. It's going to be one of those nights. I swear to God. Okay. But how about if we try Beth? See if we can bring Beth in because Beth could hear us. Can Beth hear us?
I can hear.
Oh my God. What a day. What a day. Guys, if you only knew, like, this is perfect the way my day has been going. Of course it would end up like this. Absolutely. Okay, so I'm just going to step back and let Lauren do the reading for you. And I'm going to have some water. God help us. Okay, Lauren, you're on.
All right. So I don't know if you have you ever gotten a card reading before?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So typically how I do it is I'll pull between 6 and 9 cards, basically to a message what you need to hear right now. Are you comfortable with that, or would you prefer something different?
No, that works for me perfectly.
Okay. All right. So I just need a minute to sit with the cards, and then we'll get started.
Great.
Now, Lauren, which cards are you reading?
I am using, I think it's the Rider Waite deck. It's one of the more common decks that you'll see.
So just try
it's the one I've been.
The traditional tarot cards.
Yeah, I think it's the first deck I ever got, and I haven't found one that I felt comfortable with like this one.
Okay.
Okay, so this is a really great spread. I already get good vibes from it. My overall first impression is that you've been putting in a lot of time and energy into a project or an event coming up in your life that I feel is coming to fruition. The first card that gives me that impression is this. It's I think it's Eight of Pentacles, but to me it's just someone who's been, you can see on the side all of the work that they put in, they're still going. So it seems like it's been a long journey and there's still a ways to go, but the reward is worth it. I feel that this is something that you've kind of been keeping to yourself, or that you've been working on by yourself. This card here, the Hermit, is typically what I think of as like someone who's kind of lost in the dark, trying to find their way, trying to figure out what's the right path to go down. And it feels like you really felt like for a long time you didn't know which way to go, and you felt that you were making a lot of mistakes along the path. But I feel like recently with this card, this is the Queen of Wands. She has it in her name. She's a queen. She is sitting in her throne. She feels powerful and confident, and feels that she's finally seeing the fruits of her effort. And I mean, there are three cards here that to me are the result of all the work that you've put in. This one is the World here. It's coming full circle. You can see that in the green circle here, but it's just everything that you've worked towards is just you see it piecing together, and in a lot of different ways than you expected. I feel like the journey that you've been going on or will go on is a lot different than how you originally planned. It's not what you originally or you're not where you intended to be. But I think that where you ended up, you've ended up stronger and more, you're exactly where you need to be, essentially. And the last card that I think really solidifies this is the Wheel of Fortune. Full things coming to, everything's coming to exactly where it needs to be. It's just bright and happy and full of color. So, yeah. So those are the 6 cards I pulled. Do you feel like you need clarification on, like, maybe anything you
That
wanted to say?
specifically, no, I think you're right. I think that it was pretty much a journey, and I am where I needed to be. So I think that's 100% accurate. Yeah, I think that clarification on that, no. I do know that I did kind of come into this with one specific question, that one didn't touch on. So I'm wondering if you could potentially maybe pull another,
Yeah.
if possible. I was wondering more about like future with partnership, like looking more in the, I know it's so stereotypical, but the like love aspect of things.
Absolutely. Yeah, no problem. I'll do a separate from this
Okay.
reading. I'll do 3 separate cards so we can be a little bit more specific
Okay.
on what you're looking for. So just give me a minute. I'll sit with these and see what they have to say. Okay. So The first card is the Fool, which always makes me laugh because to me it's just going into um, going into something with almost like a childlike innocence where you you kind of have to just go with the flow. Um, it might be something that you typically wouldn't go for, or typically wouldn't be your vibe, but I feel like going into it with an open mind and understanding that um, things are going to happen the way they happen, but it's only to make you stronger. Like everything that you've been through so far is proof of how resilient you can be, and it's helping you build it's helped you become the person you need to be in order to have a relationship and in order to maintain yourself and, and standing your ground. um, it I see that with this card here. It's like almost protecting who you are first before giving into all of the shiny pretty things behind you. um, and I think with understanding that, the last card is the Magician. There's magic. Understanding that you have everything that you need to move forward. You just need to, I don't want to say be a little less judgmental, but just go in it with an open mind and understand that some people or some situations may surprise you and for the better.
You're right. You're right. Thank you.
Yeah. Did you want me to pull any more cards for that?
No, I think that pretty much sums it up. I'm not gonna lie. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So overall, Beth, did you feel like, I mean, you said the first part of it was very spot on. Did you feel like the second one was also spot on?
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, that Fool one pretty much sums up my entire past. But yeah, no, it absolutely is. 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want anything like for the future or anything? Because we still have like 5 more minutes. We have plenty of time.
Um, yeah, I mean, if you would like to pull future, that would be
Mm-hmm.
great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe see what the rest of the year has for you, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be great.
So it looks like there is going to be a lot of communication this year, clearing up some things that may have hurt you in the past. Um, to me, this is the Five of Swords. You can see that this person has like all the swords, and then the people in the back are like looking a little bitter about it. To me, that's again holding your own ground. I feel like you're really taking what's yours and not taking anything that you don't deserve. Um, to me, just in all of your spreads in general, there's a lot of growth and self confidence. I don't know if you have that now or if that's something that's coming to you, but that's a lot of what I see. This one is the Eight of Swords, Eight of Wands, sorry, that makes me think of communication. It's just really letting everything go and letting everything out, and moving. letting go of what no longer serves you, I feel like is pretty much all that the pretty much what the new year looks like for you is new beginnings, growth, and standing your ground.
Good. That's
Being
it.
the queen, right? Being the queen of
Be
wands.
the queen.
There we go. I gotta get you a crown now. You have to wear. You
Listen,
have a tiara coming now.
listen, if I can wear a tiara around, I'll take it.
Of course. Of course you can. I fully support that. Are you kidding me?
Great.
All right. Thank you so much, Beth, for joining us. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you, Lauren. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
That was awesome, my friend. That was awesome. So I have some questions for you.
Mm-hmm.
So again, for our audience that may not be well versed in the tarot cards, okay. So there was the Queen of Wands, right? The Eight of Wands, something of Swords. So do you know like what the difference is between like swords and wands, and you know what I mean? Like is there categories within the tarot cards?
I know like the bare minimum. I know that like the pentacles are associated with the earth signs, cups are associated with water signs, swords, air signs, and wands, fire. But beyond that,
So it's all tied into the astrology too.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And each one of the cards that has like just one person on it, it doesn't have swords or wands.
Yeah.
Those are also associated with each different zodiac.
Really? So like the Fool is associated with a specific zodiac sign?
Yes. I don't know all of them.
Okay.
But I like the one I know is the devil is Capricorn.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
And would the scales, that's my sign, would that Libra, would that be like
Yep.
scales on
Yep.
the card?
I do know that one as well. That's Justice is the card.
Okay. All right. And I noticed before you did the reading, like you kind of closed your eyes and I don't know how you worded it, but like you got one with the cards almost.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is that how you prepare yourself to do a reading?
Yeah. Before we started, I, set my table. I have crystals and a couple candles going.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just hold the cards with both my palms on them so I can really give my energy and take the energy from the cards. And I just focus my intention of putting my energy in and asking for what I need to know.
And do you believe, because I mean, we've had other card readers on here before, and when I read cards, I believe like I'm not doing it alone. Like whatever you believe is also helping me read the cards. Do you believe like you have spirit guides or somebody else helping you read the cards?
Oh, absolutely. I don't even remember what I just said in that last reading because it comes out and then it's gone.
Yeah. And I'll say that to people because they'll come back to you later and say, oh my God, when you told me this, oh my God, it was so true, or you were really off, or whatever they say. And I'm like, I'm sorry, you're going to have to tell me what I said because I don't remember what I said. And they look at you like I'm like, but you got to understand when you do a reading, at least this is the way I see it, like we're a channel.
Mm-hmm.
We're a tool that whatever is above us or around us or is using to pass the message through. It's not me. It's not coming from my brain, because if it was, then that would be my ego. It's coming from something else and it's just a channel and I'm just giving you the messages and they're not my messages. So why would I remember them? They're going out to you to do with what you need to do with them.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly how I feel.
Yep. Yep. And I love how you say you put them between your hands and you put your energy in and receive energy from them. Like, that's so cool. I never thought of it that way, that your cards actually have energy themselves too. Like, I think that's fabulous. That's really cool that that's your perspective.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes I can almost like feel a pulse when I put my especially when it's been a while since I've last touched my cards. It's
Yeah.
almost like, whoa, hi.
Yeah.
Sorry, I haven't held
I
you in a
guess you missed
while.
me. Here I am. Yeah.
Yep.
Now, do you use the same deck of cards, or do you? I have so many decks of cards. Well, I have decks of cards everywhere. I keep getting drawn to new ones. Do you have several decks, or do you just have one or two that you usually use?
I have several, but each time I just find myself going back to this one. It's the one I feel like most confident and comfortable in.
Yeah.
And I think I might have told you this, but when I lost like the majority of my decks, I
Everything?
thought I lost everything.
Yeah.
And then this deck had been hiding in a suitcase in a basement, and it was the only one that survived. And
Yeah.
so I feel a special connection to this one.
Well, I think there is a special connection to it. I mean, that in itself says, they were meant for you. Like, I believe that anyhow. Okay, do you need a few more minutes, or are you ready for the next
I'm
person?
ready. I just want to give my cards a good shuffle and then
Okay.
to go.
All righty. Hi, Melissa. How are you?
Hi, good. How are you, Dale?
Oh, we can hear you now. Yay.
Yes, you can hear me now. Hi, Lauren.
I
Hi,
don't
nice
know.
to meet
I don't know
you.
if you heard the beginning of the show, but the energy in the world the last couple of weeks, and I know you can attest to it, Miss, because you and I have talked about it, has just been off. Like,
Yeah.
just off in general. So, of course, tonight would be like this. We'd have trouble with electronics and everything else.
Yeah.
Of course. Things are just off.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens with the card reading. But this is Lauren. Lauren, this is Miss.
Hi, Lauren.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
All right. So did you watch the last reading?
I did. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you know my process.
Yep.
I'll pull 6 cards. Are you comfortable with that, or
Yeah.
do you have a specific question in mind?
No, not now that I could think of.
Okay. All right. Just give me a minute. I'll sit with the cards and then we'll get started.
Okay.
All right. So, looks like we have a new beginning on the horizon. To me, it feels like right now, it feels like right now with this card, this is the 4 of Pentacles. To me, they look scared. Like they're holding on to something that they're not ready to let go of. Like there's it's almost like something that's been with you for a long time, and it's time to let go, or maybe sorry it is time to let go, and whether or not that, it's gonna happen. It always seems to work out that way, but this card here is the Tower. It looks like a scary card, but it's really just letting go of what no longer serves you. The old tower is being broken down and a new one will be rebuilt. So it's about free falling, letting the wind, going where you're taken, kind of trusting your intuition and letting the leaves or the chips fall where they may, and rebuilding based off of that. You kind of just have to allow yourself to feel and allow yourself to process and cope and do whatever it is you need to do in order to get through this change, because it may not even be a bad change, but change in and of itself is scary. And I feel like there might be a little bit of inner turmoil. Like, is this the right thing? Is this, did I make the right decision? But to me, it looks like, I mean, the strength card is that you just have to persevere. Keep pushing through to the other side. Because like I said, even though it may not be a bad change, it's still scary. And it's just understanding this is exactly where I need to be. And with this new change, it looks like a new relationship, whether it be romantic or platonic, will start. This is the Two of Cups. I do know typically with the cup cards, it's about water flowing together, creating like almost a rhythm with somebody that, like, you know, when you like meet somebody and she's like, oh yeah, like I feel like I've known you my whole life. I feel like it's that sort of connection, where it's just like things just flow together. And with that, it just kind of like the stars align, things just look beautiful. You're kind of looking at your life and you're like, I think that with this change, you're almost not going to recognize the person you were at the beginning versus the end of this journey that you're going to take. Because with the last card, this person is just kind of looking over and witnessing all they've accomplished and witnessing how far they've come. So to me, it looks like you're going on a journey physically, mentally, emotionally, to become a stronger person in order to build a new relationship.
Okay. Wow. Can I ask a question?
Of course you can.
I don't know. Are you allowed to ask about like family health questions?
Anything you want, you can
Yeah,
ask.
'cause I think like just health questions surrounding like family. If you could just pull anything for family,
Absolutely.
please.
I also would like to note that at the bottom of the deck for this last spread is the Lovers, which I think is just, I don't know, I think that's cute. So.
You're such a romantic at heart, Lauren. Did that make sense, miss?
Yeah, completely. A little bit too much it did. For sure.
And sometimes it's amazing when that happens with the cards.
Yeah.
It really is. It's just like, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you were listening when Lauren and I were talking after the last reading, but I believe, like Lauren does, like we're just a channel. The message is coming from somebody else. Maybe someone you know from the other side is using Lauren and the cards to get these messages to you. That's what I believe, anyhow.
Yeah, I do too.
So to me, it looks like a cycle is coming to completion. Whether, I don't know exactly what cycle, but it's been a process. It feels like there's been a lot of work put in, and you're kind of, it feels freeing. It feels like, okay, I did this. I can sit back and appreciate what I did. It feels like there is someone who isn't doing what they should be doing or isn't treating the situation correctly. That maybe someone is pulling more weight than another person, or just someone is like emotionally closed off to the situation where they do not like it's almost like emotionally abusive, to me is what it feels like. I get that from this card. It feels like a betrayal, or like an emotional betrayal. Like, how could you not care? How could you not feel or react in a certain way?
Yeah.
And I feel like for you, it's going to be really important to keep a brave face and advocate for the person that needs it the most. I see that with the King of Wands, where he's looking out towards his people. He is taking care of others before he takes care of himself.
Yeah.
And I think that overall, I think that it's going to be very fulfilling for you, because you understand that's what it's your path. It's what will make you feel whole ultimately. And I see that with this card. In the background, you can see there's clouds, there's divine animals. It looks heavenly to me. It just looks beautiful. Like it may be a difficult process with whoever this person is, but overall, you're doing exactly what you need to do, even though it feels like it's just gonna kind of suck a little bit. Overall.
Okay, that makes sense.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it did. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any other questions that you want for Lauren? We have plenty of time, hon.
I guess anything you see maybe from my kids. I mean, they're in, anything you see for kids around me, they're at different stages now and lots of changes are coming up. So anything like that.
Absolutely.
I think it's interesting. One of the cards that Lauren just had for you was the World card, and it meant something similar but different than the first person. So you can get the same card with two different readings, and it slightly means something different. You know what I mean? Based on the person, based on the energy that Lauren is feeling. Like, I think it's amazing when she said, and I've had the same experience, when you do a card reading, 10 minutes later, you don't even remember what you said because the messages aren't yours. You don't have to hold on to them.
They're good cards. The first one to me is one of the only cards that looks like it has a young person on it. This one to me is figuring out where your place in the world, because I don't know if you can really see, but the river underneath him is like really small. He's actually standing on a mountain, but like he's gigantic. He's trying to figure out like, hey, I don't really fit in, but I'm trying. And he's like fighting off that people are trying to force him out. So to me, that looks like there might be a little bit of struggling coming to terms with, who they are. And I also see that with this card here, Judgment. But the cool thing about Judgment is it doesn't really live up to its name. This card is really listening to your intuition, listening to who you are, because you can see the angel here is singing a song and all of the people here are listening and just appreciating what they are getting. And to me, that's just, it feels like there's a really strong sense of self, like figuring out who they are is difficult, but once they listen, like, and try to cast out that judgment, and once they fight it off, they really just become ultimately very strong. The King of Cups, like I said, with the cup cards, that typically is like flowing emotions, and this is the King of Emotions. This is the king of the most unruly sea. So I feel like with your kids, they are really strong and are able to handle that like turmoil that they might have. And I also feel like they have a really good foundation for that. With like with these two cards, it's just, I feel like they just go hand in hand. It's fighting off the judgment and then listening to intuition, and I feel like they do a really good job of that. And I feel like they're really coming into their own and understanding their importance of their place in the world.
Good. Those are good.
Yeah, those are really good cards, right? For kids? Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any other questions, or are you good, miss?
No, I think I'm good. I wanted to like rewind it and replay it so I can hear it again.
Well, you can go on with
Yes.
the podcast and you'll be able to listen to it as much as you want. So you
Yeah,
can get a little back in. Because it's true. When you get a card reading, sometimes you miss half of what they said.
Yeah.
You're so it's really good to go back and listen again.
Definitely. Thank you
so much for
Thank
joining us. I really appreciate it.
Me too. Thanks very much for having me. Thank you, Lauren.
Thank you.
So, Lauren, what's amazing to me is when you do the 6 cards, it like shows you a story, right? Like you look at the 6 cards and it's almost like every card just fits into the next one. Which is amazing. I mean, she asked you about her kids and you pulled the one card that has like a kid on it. Like, what are the odds of that happening?
I know.
Seriously, I'm like, oh my gosh, did anyone else pick up on like that? Like the one card that has a kid on it came up in the card about her kids. Like, of course it did. You can't make this stuff up. You really can. It's incredible. Well, while we have plenty of time, we have like, I don't know, 15 minutes left. See what holds for Dale for the rest of the year. Lauren,
you're gonna make me nervous with this one.
Oh, stop that. So my audience knows Lauren has read my cards before, and she's always been like spot on, scary spot on. And I've known Lauren since like when she first started really building up her confidence in reading cards, and she's always been spot on. She has like a natural intuitive gift, which is really scary for a person her age. Like, it's amazing. She keeps working on this. She's going to be amazing even more in like 20 years. I don't even want to see what she'll be like. She'll be scary by then. And I'll be old and senile, and I won't even know about any of this stuff.
You're so Dale cards.
I don't know what that means.
So I'll start with these two. We were talking about this earlier, the card for the Libra, Justice.
Are you kidding me? The Libra card comes up. I am a Libra, just so the audience know, I'm a Libra. Okay.
And then this card, the High Priestess. To me, this card is the ultimate divine angel. She's the High Priestess. She knows she is the closest to heavenly connection that you can be. So to me, it feels like I also think that even though these cards are not religious, she is wearing a cross on her chest. But I think that with this card, it shows that your connection with higher being, whatever you want to call it, is very strong. And I feel like you feel a very strong connection to the moon. And with the moon, you're able to communicate. To me, it feels like that's almost like a connection for you. When there's a full moon, I feel like that is when you are at your most in tune and in touch. Where I honestly, I would recommend next time there's a full moon doing like a spirit guide meditation or something like that. But with that, with the Justice card, this is all about balance and integrity. This is about maintaining what you worked for, and all around this person is cement. It's cold, it's concrete, nobody's getting through that. That is, you have built your foundation, and you are, I'm trying to think of the right word. It's almost like you're untouchable now because you worked so hard. And with this High Priestess, you have just you've allowed yourself to go exactly where you need to. You haven't forced yourself. You've just hung in the balance. You're not forcing in one direction or the other. You're just trying to maintain it. You're trying to maintain. I'll leave it at that. But the next card is the Queen of Pentacles. This to me is like a motherly card in a way, but for your business. It's like you've nurtured your career from its infancy. Like you have literally watched it start from a sprout and grow into what it is, and you feel like it's almost time to pass the baton, not pass the baton, but delegate or give a little bit, be a little bit more kind to yourself, and understand that you don't need to be the only person doing this anymore. I think that giving some of the fruits of your labor here, like these are all the flowers that you've grown and you're so proud of them, you're standing in front of them, but it's time, to let them go, to let them, time to share the love and give a little bit. And I also see that in this card, it feels like you really don't want to give up. You don't want to give in to letting go. You see the smirk on his face where it's like, I can do it. Like, I'm fine. I don't need to worry about it. But in all, like, it just to me feels like if you do, you'll just ultimately become stronger. The last card is the Emperor versus the Queen of Pentacles. It's like, who is ultimately more powerful, the Queen or the Emperor? And it's like, once you give a little leeway to yourself and understanding, hey, maybe I don't need to do it all. Maybe there's room to share, room to grow. You'll really just you'll be on top of the world. You will really feel like fulfilled at the end of the day, where maybe you feel that now, but it's not what it could be. It feels like there's like a part of you that's still missing. Like you're kind of just trying to put the last puzzle piece together in order to make it all work. In order to in order for, you know, the stars to kind of align. But I feel like ultimately, if you trust your intuition and you listen to those around you who are willing to help, I think that you'll be stronger and better off for it.
Wow. Wow. You just, from the thing when you said about the moon, that blew me away. You have no idea how right on target you were with that whole thing. Every time there's a full or a new moon, I get a horrible migraine. When you say I have a connection to the moon, yeah. And I never thought of it until you said it now. Maybe I have a migraine because I'm supposed to be getting messages during that time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Maybe that's what my connection to the moon is. I've said that for years. Like, what is it about the moon? Every time I could set my clock on it. I don't even have to know when there is a new moon. I feel migraine coming on. It happens all the time. And I'm like, what the hell is it about me and the moon? Maybe that's what it is. So thank you for that. My gosh. And everything else you said about me, yes. Okay. Yes, that is me. And I'm working on it, trying to back up a little bit. It's not easy for me. So I'm trying. My God, people say that all the time. All the time. That's crazy. We have like 5 more minutes. Could you pull 3 more cards for my son, Jimmy, please? And let me know what you see about that. I'd appreciate it. But wow, Lauren, you are like right on. And like, I'm amazed. And it's been probably what, about a year, maybe 2 since you read my cards. It's been a little bit.
It's
Life
been
went
probably
on.
since the spirituality group, I feel like.
Yeah. And time is, and COVID and all that other crazy crap that we went through. It's amazing how much your intuition has grown. Can you feel it? Because I see it in you. I see your confidence level. I see something that I haven't seen since the spirituality group when you were so unsure about doing the cards. I see a totally different person tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
I mean, that's wonderful. That's wonderful to see your growth. It really is.
So the first card is strength. To me, all 3 of these cards are about inner strength, more so than anything else. To me, it feels like there's kind of been a big change, an adjustment. And I see that with this card. It's called the Hanged Man. To me, it's kind of like his world's been flipped upside down. And he's just trying to adjust to the view from upside down. And that's where that strength comes in. It's where it's like it's making peace with where you are, and understanding that there are things that we can't change, but growing with the changes, not allowing, like, I see that with the King of Pentacles. To me, it looks like he's been sitting there, and you can see the growth all around him on his chair. To me, that is allowing yourself to accept where you are, and not really trying to force your hand one way or the other. It's being strong and knowing that with your strength comes a new perspective, comes with seeing the world upside down, you're going to see things that you wouldn't have seen otherwise. To me, it feels like the king has been sitting here for so long because he's peaceful. He's happy with where he is. Like, there's gold in the background. He's holding gold. There's gold shining from his head with strength. I mean, the whole card is gold. And to me, gold is about its happiness. It's peace. It is warmth and love. And that's what I feel for that.
Thank you. Now, when you show those cards and you talk about all the little signs and symbols inside those cards, because each one, I mean, I've looked at tarot. I don't personally use tarot cards. I use angel cards more than tarot cards. But so explain to our audience, do you, like, all the little symbols you talk about inside those cards, is that just what you feel that represents, or did you get that from like a book you read about tarot cards?
For some of them, especially when I first started, I was reading from a book, but as I've gotten to know these cards, because I've been using these cards for 5 years, I feel like I just notice little details about them, and it's all about context for me, and that's why I always pull at least 2 cards, so I can see the full picture, and I'll just try and I guess I just try and look for the symbolism in each card. I don't really use the book version.
So you go more by your intuition and what you feel. Now, as you're shuffling the cards, right? Like in between the different people you did tonight. So you did 3 different people. Do the cards feel different as you're shuffling and as you're putting them down? Can you feel the energy change with each person?
Yeah. Especially the second person. I can't remember her name. I'm sorry.
Melissa.
Her cards, when I was shuffling them, were flying out. Like they had something to say, and they wanted it to be known.
Okay.
And then the first set of shuffling, it was just smooth sailing, and then yours was fine.
So it definitely, you can feel the energy
Yeah.
before you start the reading. Everyone's energy. Now, do you think the persons that you're reading, do you think their energy is in the cards at all?
Yeah, absolutely. After I do readings, I'll use sage, or incense or candles, to clear the cards, and kind of like reset them, take out any of the messages that they had from previous day and kind of reset them for the next.
Now, do you do readings for yourself too? Like every day to see what the day is coming or anything like that?
No.
No?
I've always struggled with reading for myself because I feel like I'm projecting, or I feel like I'm going to say something that I want to hear rather than what's actually the message.
No, that's true. It's hard to read for yourself because you're like, is this just my ego? Is just my wishful thinking? Is that what's coming out here? Or is it actually what the cards are telling me? No, I agree. It's very hard to read for yourself. Some people can do it. I can't. I get stuck. Well, Lauren, thank you so much for tonight. It's been an honor to have you on my show. Would you ever consider doing it again in the future?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. Thank you. You were wonderful. You really were. And thank you to Melissa, and thank you to Beth for coming on the show. And thank you for those of you that stayed with us when we had that little technical difficulties at the beginning. We figured it out and it was worth it. It was fabulous. So everyone have a very blessed night, and I will see you all next week for It's a Legit Metaphysical World. Have a good night now.